How's it going, everyone? This is Andy with Lead Equipment Rentals. I want to thank anybody who's watching this video, and let's get into today's topic. Owning and operating a small business as a single employee can have some downsides, and I've known about these particular downsides for a while, but most recently I have been affected by one of the bigger downsides pretty severely. Because I got sick. I got really sick this last month. I was incredibly sick for about 2 weeks, and we'll talk about that for a minute. But some of the things that I do want to talk about in today's video is just how, when you do things by yourself, you make things harder on yourself. And that's why a lot of people talk about how can you do your business to where you get out of that role where you do everything, right? How do you run the business where you're being the management and you have the business still running? And don't get me wrong, I will get to that point with this dumpster rental business, but I'm just not there yet. And although the dumpster rental business makes a fair amount of money, I'm not in any position to hire anybody currently to help me run the dumpster rental business. So real quick, this is some Call of Duty footage, game that I had a couple months ago, only because I don't have a lot of dumpster rental footage right now, especially because I've been sick. So this is me playing Call of Duty and mostly talking about some of the issues running a small dumpster rental or a small business by yourself. One of the things that really hits home is what happens when you get sick and you're the only one running your small business, right? I run a small service-based industry, the dumpster rental business, and when I'm sick, that's it. It's just me. I do all the marketing, I do all the sales, I do all of the phones, and pretty much everything. I do all the driving, all of the dumpsters, deliveries, pickups, dumping, all of that I do. So this last couple weeks that I've been sick have taken a toll on our business. Pretty much paused all sales. And it's difficult because it's hard to plan for when you're going to be sick. So I like to always make sure that, and this is kind of like one of those things that I was talking about in one of my previous videos, is I don't like spending crazy amounts of money to expand, because what happens if you need to scale back because you can't bring in any money 1 month, right? And this is a lot different for me, from like working my full-time job. Like if I ever needed to take time off at Walmart, I just send up here an email saying, hey, I need to take some time off. Please follow up on X, Y, and Z. And they would. With this, there's nobody to do that for me. There's nobody that I can say, hey, can you please make sure that this still gets done? And it's definitely been challenging. So a few things that being a single employee small business owner, some challenges that you can face would be that right there. Limited resources. When you do your small business by yourself, you're the resource, and you're the one that has to answer the questions. And although you could have a network of people that you can refer to or call, really ultimately you're responsible for your business. And so limited resources is a big deal when you're a single employee small business. And then the other thing that ties into that would be like a lack of support, really. Like I said, at Walmart, send an email, say, hey, I'm going to be gone, please follow up on X, Y, and Z, and that's it. Where with this, although the people that reached out to me while I was sick and asked if I needed any help, I very much appreciate you guys. I ultimately was responsible for my own business because it was all of the money, all the operations were 100% on me, whether or not they would still be happening or not. So with another bigger, business with multiple layers, you have a lot of support layers. With this, you really have none, just myself. And then also there's a lot of uncertainty, right? A lot of risk involved with running the business single-handedly, because you start to realize that 1 day or 2 days of being sick can turn into 12 days of being sick. And so that 12 days can be thousands and thousands of dollars, along with the associated costs of not running your business, because there are costs of not running your business as well, including, for me, marketing. When I first got sick, I did not pause my marketing. So I was paying to market jobs that I could not take. And then some of the things like, that aren't about being sick would just be like burnout, work-life balance. Everybody that you talk to will tell you, being a business owner, you work 25/8, you work 500 days a year, but you can easily get burnt out, especially if you're doing something that you're not necessarily passionate about. I've said this before. I've told a lot of you that I'm not passionate about the dumpster rental business. I'm passionate about money, and that's why I'm involved in it. But I'm definitely not passionate about trash or renting out dumpsters or renting out trailers. You know what I mean? And so it is easy to get burnt out very quickly with something like that you're not passionate about. And you really can't afford to be burnt out, because you need to be 100%, 110% at all times for your business. And then time management as well. It kind of goes hand in hand with being burnt out, because if you aren't having the best work-life balance, you're going to start to not manage your time well, because you're not really interested in spending a lot of time running your business. And all these things are mitigated by having those layers, by having people that are willing to help and figure out what they can do to make the process easier, right? To make the idea of making more money easier. I got sick. The little story about kind of what's been going on with me. I've been sick for like almost the past month. And what happened was that my wife had COVID late February, early March. And then I had COVID right after her. And that wasn't too bad, but we were pretty sick. And when we get COVID, I stopped doing the dumpster rental business pretty much fully. And then the week after I was sick from COVID, I got hit with this very nasty tooth infection. And long story short, I've been battling this incredibly nasty tooth infection for weeks now. Today is March the 27th, and I'm just starting to be able to talk freely again, and just starting to be able to eat freely again. And I'm in such a good mood now because of that. And that's what made me want to make this video. But it has been terrible. It has been extremely hard. And pretty much the whole 2 weeks, of my tooth infection issue, I did not touch any dumpsters. I ran no dumpsters. I stopped running ads, and all the jobs that I did have scheduled, I gave away. I gave them to other people here in my area. And the few customers that called that were returning customers, I told them, I told like 3 people that, hey, unfortunately, I am dealing with some really bad tooth infection, and I cannot service you with a dumpster right now. I can refer you to somebody else, or I can let you know, when I'm ready. And one guy had me refer him, and 2 people hadn't said they'll wait. So it's been tough, because that's a pretty major hit on the financials. When you don't do any business at all, there's no money coming in, and there's just money going out. It's a big deal. So when you are the only person responsible for the finances, the financial stability is incredibly unpredictable. And this is something, like I said, I knew this would happen, and I'm familiar with the idea that it's my responsibility. That's a part of the risk of owning your own business. but it's how can you be more prepared for it? And there are definitely things that I could have done to be more prepared for this, including gotten this issue with my tooth fixed when I knew it was a problem, because I didn't do that. I waited as long as I could until I couldn't function anymore. And so, you know, that's just something to think about for all of you out there that are considering starting your own small business, considering maybe trying to do your small business full time. Because I talk to a lot of folks out there who are interested in trying to supplement their income with a business. And although I think it's a great idea, there are a lot of risks that come along with that. And some of them can get easily overlooked, including by myself. I overlook things like this because I say, oh, the money's just too good for that to be worth it. The money that I make every month outweighs the amount that if I had to take 1 month off, would it be that bad? But now that I'm here, I can definitely tell you that, yeah, it put a huge dent in our P&L. It put a huge dent into my goals for this year. With the way February ended, and me looking like I was only going to take a little bit of time off, and then the way that March happened, and kind of some of the other things that I've planned throughout the year, some of the, outdoor family vacation stuff that I want to do, my financials are way out of whack. I'm looking at them like, man, we're not nearly going to make nearly as much money as I had thought. And so that's just, something to consider, something to think about. The difficulty to scale while doing a business like this is there, because I'm just holding myself back by not being more prepared. I hope all that kind of makes sense, because I feel like now I'm starting to ramble. So maybe I should just, get ready to end the video and stop rambling. I thank any of you guys that are watching this video that listen to me talk about some of the challenges of being a single employee small business owner, because there are challenges, and I definitely don't want to come off as that there are no challenges and doesn't exist. I do think that out of all the side hustles that there are, the dumpster rental business is one that is pretty easy, but turning it into a $1 million company that I can have run in the background while I do other things, it's still going to take some time. The first thing I really need to do is I need to get more dumpsters built up for the roll-off truck, and I need to get a full-time driver in the truck. So that's a part of my 3-month, 6-month goals, is to just get a full-time driver in that truck and stop having to rely on just myself for driving. Because I could have got somebody to answer my phone this week, or these last 2 weeks that I've been sick. I could have asked my wife or one of my sisters, my mom, somebody to run the phones for me. But it was really about the driving, and the fact that I don't feel comfortable with anybody driving with the trailers, and that I don't know how, other than having a full-time driver on staff, we would have been able to make that work. So just some things to think about, and I'll be making some more videos here shortly. If you watched all the way till the end, thank you very much. Very much appreciative of you. And if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll make sure to get to all of them. Have a great day. This has been Andy with Lead Equipment Rentals. Thank you.